Hi, welcome back to the Nonprofit Life channel, the channel dedicated to empowering and enlightening nonprofit professionals and volunteers like yourself. I'm Bill Pawlucy, I'm your host today, and we're tackling a topic that's a cornerstone of nonprofit success. That's the board orientation, which is hugely important. This process is more than a formality, it's the foundation of effective governance and leadership. And if you stick around to the end, we will provide a few resources for you, including a board orientation PowerPoint template that you can take away, download, and use today to build your own board orientation session for your organization. And also, speaking of leadership, I'm excited to share my new book, which you'll see right here behind me, which is the Essential Handbook for Nonprofit Leaders. If you read through the board orientation development template, a lot of the key things are listed and included in there in this book. It's a comprehensive guide and it's practical. It's available on Amazon in Audible, ebook, and print, as well as other booksellers throughout the world. This handbook is a treasure trove of insights and strategies for anyone in the nonprofit sector. So, number one, what is board orientation? So, board orientation is the first step in the journey of impactful governance. So it's where new board members as well as senior current board members come together and learn not just about the organization's mission and policies, but also about the culture and expectations. It sets the tone for their tenure and involvement. So why is it important? So effective board orientation is crucial. So it's not just about informing and saying, okay, well, here's the expense form that you have to fill out, here's the restroom, very procedural, very administrative. It's about engaging and inspiring not only your new board members, but also your current board members, coupled with your professional staff team. So when this is done right, I've seen it transform a group of individuals into a cohesive, effective team aligned with your nonprofit's goals and values. And I have to say, when I've worked with organizations, our clients at Association Options, I have seen dysfunction turn to extreme function just through a board orientation session. It's not just one and done, it needs to keep going, but it's hugely important. So who should be involved in a board orientation? So I always say the board orientation is a team effort. So it's a collaboration between existing board members, new recruits, and also your key professional staff team. So this inclusive approach ensures a well-rounded and comprehensive orientation experience because everyone's involved in the process. So what are the components of a board orientation? So if you think about a robust board orientation and not just filling out an expense form or here's the restroom, that type of thing, it covers everything from your nonprofit's history, resources, budget, achievements, and also to its challenges and opportunities. There should be a robust discussion around what are some of the challenges we're faced with? What are some of the critical issues that we're faced with? So it's about providing a 360-degree view of the organization and its environment. It's hugely important. So I'm going to give you a snapshot of some of the things that an effective board orientation looks like and also what's included in that free resource. And I have to say, I can't take full credit for it. Bob Harris, who is with the Nonprofit Center, many of you know, helped me, or we both actually designed it together. So Bob Harris, this one's for you. So this segment is designed to give you a taste of the journey you'll embark on as a new board member. So these are some of the key elements that you'll find in the board orientation template that we provided. So the first and foremost understanding is the governance and governing documents of the organization. It's crucial to understand what your governance role is and what are those governing documents. For example, your mission, your policies, your bylaws, your articles of incorporation. They're all spelled out in that PowerPoint and also in my book. So these are the backbone of how the organization operates and makes decisions. So that's one key element. Another one is the role of staff and management. So the board governs, staff manages. So recognizing the staff's management role is key. So as board members, your role is to govern, while the staff's role is to manage the day-to-day operations. There really should be a pretty clear line in terms of what is governance versus management. And I don't think the board members that have full-time jobs want to have anything to do with the management of the nonprofit. And it's something that you want to have your professional staff team handle. If you have no team, you may be involved in it as a professional board member, as I call it, where you have to take care of some of those items. So in that, I would say in that vein, you're wearing two hats. So one day you're on the board, you have to place that hat, and then you're doing some of the administrative work for the organization if you have no staff. But typically, you'll have maybe a half-staff person, a consultant, or someone doing some of the work for you. So governance versus management, it's vital for effective organizational functioning. The other part is your strategic plan is the centerpiece for your organization. So you think about one of the most exciting parts of your role as a board member is focusing on the strategic direction, mission, and goals of the organization. This is where you can make a huge impact guiding the organization towards its vision. So when you're sitting at your strategic plan or your strategic planning session, you could provide serious input that the members are saying, yes, this is the direction that we want to go. You are one of the subject matter experts sitting on the board level to be able to say, this is what we need to do as an organization. It's hugely exciting to be able to exercise that fiduciary role. Speaking of fiduciary duties and trust, so as a board member, you hold a position of trust. You are a trustee of a state corporation. Your nonprofit is incorporated within a state. It operates as a state corporation. Most of the time you have a tax-exempt status from the IRS as well. So I think understanding your fiduciary duties means being responsible for the trust that your members and stakeholders place in you as a board. It's about stewardship and integrity. So if you don't have members in your foundation, it's the same thing. Your key stakeholders, those that you're working to provide grants to and make lives much better. You know, those are folks that are key stakeholders, and you're a steward of those dollars to make sure they go to the right place in the community. The other part of it, I think, is important too. For every board orientation, as a board member, you need to know what you're working with. So being aware of the organization's resources, both financial and human, is essential. This awareness helps in making informed decisions that align with the organization's capacity and strategic goals. Also, you should understand how much in reserves you have. And also, remember, reserves, or those dollars that are in the bank, are not just for a rainy day. They're there to develop programs or give back to the community, whatever it is. That's why you have reserves. And just a quick tip here is that if you are a nonprofit organization, it's not a way of doing business. You are allowed to make a profit and then reinvest those funds into your members and stakeholders and your community. The other piece that I think is important within any board orientation process is risk management. So it's a critical aspect of your role as a board member. So you have to be aware of potential risks and how to avoid them to protect the organization and ensure its longevity. In that template that we provide, we do have a list of those. And in the template, we also have talking points at the bottom. So you can use this, you can actually review it as a board member, but I recommend doing it as one group. So that's just a quick snapshot into some of the key elements. But one of the things I want to mention is it's not a one and done. It's continuous learning. So board orientation is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. Conducting orientation annually ensures that all board members, all of them, new and existing, are refreshed and aligned. So this is the process we call at Association Options when we work with our clients, refresh and blend. I'm going to try that, refresh and blend. It involves the entire board and staff, fostering a unified approach to governance. So one of the things is that board orientation or board development, it's not a one-size-fits-all. So remember, each board member brings unique skills and perspectives during the board orientation process. Our board orientation PowerPoint, which is based on best practices, is designed to be easily customized to fit the specific needs of your organization. So in addition to the group orientation that we're talking about, we recommend supplementing the experience with a board and governance toolkit, which we're going to provide as well in the links below, and also a board commitment form. The board commitment form is not only important at this moment in time if you're a board member, but before you have new board members come into the organization, they should read the commitment that they're going to make. So these tools provide additional context and help solidify your commitment to the board's responsibilities. So again, I gave you a mini glimpse of an orientation and some key other aspects, but I would just say board orientation is about setting the stage for effective, informed, and engaged board governance. So here's some practical tips. So conducting an effective board orientation is an art. It's about balancing information with engagement. So I like to use real storytelling, real life examples, and interactive sessions to bring the content to life. I think I've probably sat in on a couple thousand board meetings and I've seen quite a bit. I could probably write a book on that as well. And another key success factor is please involve your professional staff team. It should be that combination that we talked about earlier. New board members, senior board members, and also your professional staff team. They all should be a part of the one team methodology or practice. To further aid your journey, don't forget, I mentioned earlier, to utilize our board orientation PowerPoint, which is linked below, as well as the two other resources, which is the board and governance toolkit, as well as the other piece that I wanted to mention, which is the board commitment form. And maybe some other resources I think about it, and as this video gets uploaded, I'll include them as well. So please be sure to check out the links below. So this resource, along with the insights from my book, will provide you with a comprehensive understanding of effective nonprofit leadership. So we've journeyed through the essentials of board orientation today. Remember, this is just the beginning of a fulfilling and impactful role in nonprofit governance. Don't forget my book, which is on Amazon, and also subscribe to the Nonprofit Life for more valuable content. So hit the subscribe button, share, and like this content. And what I'm going to do is every single month I'm going to put in place 4 to 5 videos that are going to address specific concerns. If there is something that you would like me to do a video on, please put a comment below, and then I will also make sure that I'll try to get to those as well. So please, again, share your thoughts and experiences with board orientation in the comments below. Have you tried any of these strategies? What worked for you? So let's build a community of knowledgeable and empowered nonprofit leaders and help each other through this process. And I think board dysfunction comes from not having some of these key elements in place. Function comes from practice. It comes from effective and continuous learning. So thank you again, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.